revolution will be live.
What's good, YouTube? Struggling guy Keese here, and I am with the homie Jack Splicer. Say what's up.
Yo.
And today, yes, we have just come out the movie theater seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, and
fresh out the theater.
Whew, some shit went down. Now, no spoilers. Right now, we give y'all time to watch it.
We're gonna have a separate spoiler cast. You know, give it a little time, let it marinate, let more people see it before we go out here and put our theories into the air.
Exactly. So, you know, we broke it down into a few categories because there's a lot to talk about, and believe me, there's some big shit that happened that we won't spoil here. But
we're gonna have to dodge around a lot of things. So
yeah.
If we pause and there's some edits, then you know that we might have spoiled some shit. But we doing this for y'all.
Yeah.
We're giving y'all what y'all want. This is the content y'all asked for.
Yeah. So I feel like the most important thing, the story.
Now, obviously, we can't talk about much, but we're going to try to touch on things that were specifically shown in the trailer. So, if it was in the trailer, I think it's fair use to touch. So, a lot of returning villains from other Spider-Man movies.
Precisely, yeah. So basically, if y'all ain't see the trailer, I'm sure y'all have, but for those who haven't, essentially, this picks up right where Far From Home left off at, and spoiler warning. I mean, why would you be watching this if you ain't see Far From Home? So, Peter gets framed for mass murder, or attempted mass murder, I don't know, by Mysterio before he dies, and essentially is kind of on the run. So he goes to Doctor Strange to assist him and getting everyone to forget that he was Spider-Man because it's kind of affecting everyone around him.
But in the theme of Peter, he fucked it all up, and you know. So did Mysterio. Oh man, this is bad, bro. This was bad. He just couldn't shut the fuck up. He kept changing it to the point where they broke the multiverse, bro.
Yeah. Y'all thought Loki was on to something.
Yeah. Who'd have thought it'd just be Peter? Only two people in the world that could fuck up the multiverse: Peter and the Flash.
Of course. It's, you know, all right. So I've said before that the MCU iteration, not the actor, the iteration of Spider-Man is not my favorite because he's done a lot of dumb shit that I really wouldn't see like a Toby doing something like that. And this is one of those things where it really annoyed me in the trailer and it annoyed watching it.
Yeah, it was bad.
But later
it
on,
fits his character though.
If it does, but I don't like that.
It fits his character though, so they kept true to it.
Yeah, but he reaps what he sows, and you'll see that as you watch the movie. And I mean, he gets into a tussle with quite a few villains from Tobey's movies and Andrew's movies. Now, what's funny about the Tobey movies, they were out for blood.
Yeah,
my man Tobey had to give hands, and Tom wasn't ready for it. He wasn't ready for it. It got critical. Like you can see in the trailer, he was he got his ass with just a little bit.
Them is different villains.
They are
the Raimi villains. When they fight you, they looking to kill you. Now, they show quite a few villains in the trailer. We're gonna list them out, right? You know, they had the Green Goblin, and they had the Doc Ock. You seen the Sandman, and you seen Lizard, and Jamie Foxx's character. I don't remember what they call him. Electro, right? The Raimi villains was like, listen, it's a wrap for you, Peter. Like, if you don't know us, we're about to introduce ourselves.
Right.
We're the real villains.
Right. We're going to touch a little bit more about it in the next topic, but for the most part, they were ripped straight from those movies, almost to a fault, I feel like. Yeah.
It was a lot of good and bad that came with that. And though we can't talk about it here, stay tuned for our spoiler cast, because we're gonna go in depth.
It's gonna get wicked
because we gotta talk about a lot of stuff, and then we also in that spoiler cast we're gonna also talk about the post credit scenes.
Yes,
because we're not gonna talk about them here. We want y'all to go experience those. Those were amazing, especially the last. There's two. There is two. Do not leave.
Please.
Do not leave. Watch that second one. The first one's amazing. The second one blew my mind. So you got to stay for two. You got to watch some long ass credits, Star Wars style credits, but you got to watch them. All right. So next we're gonna go into the next category, characters. Characters made the movie.
Yes.
This is all about characters. So Doc Ock was a standout performance.
Always.
I think he was.
Molina, he's always there.
Yeah, he was amazing in the original Spider-Man. And I think he's even better here.
Yeah, but do you feel like any of the villains got MCU-fied?
No, because I feel like they were true to themselves.
Yeah.
The only one that changed was technically Electro because he wasn't blue.
And he was funny.
Yeah, he was funnier. Yeah,
he was very brooding when he was Electro, but he was funny as hell in this movie.
Yeah, he got that Django treatment.
Oh, good.
So that's everybody else. I mean, they didn't give Lizard a fair shot.
Yeah, he really wasn't.
He didn't say nothing really.
I will say it was a bit different because he talks more like a human in lizard form now versus when he did in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I recently just went back and watched all those, and definitely for the most part, come on,
They could have omitted him, to be honest. Maybe got a better villain to replace him because I didn't think he had anything really to do with this.
I mean, if you think about all that's left was Venom from Spider-Man 3, and then
I mean, they probably wanted 2 from each movie, I guess.
No, they had 3 from Toby's. I mean, he had 3 movies.
Yeah.
So. And Andrew, the
2.
only villain that was left would be Rhino and hit that Green Goblin.
Yeah. And we don't want to talk about that Green Goblin.
Yeah, I feel like in Homecoming, remember when Vulture was talking to the guy's gonna be Scorpion?
Yeah.
I feel like because he was like, yo, so you know who Spider-Man is, right? Because he wanted revenge, and I feel like he could have been the perfect person instead. I thought they were gonna do a Sinister Six, but it was only 5 of them.
Exactly.
So I thought he would have fit perfectly because he
Which
wanted
means
revenge.
there's gonna be another multiverse movie.
You think?
We gotta have the Sinister Six. We're going into 4th leg of Marvel movies. Do we consider this Marvel movies now? I know it's Sony's, but it touches so heavily with Iron Man, the second one, and now Doctor Strange in the 3rd one. But damn, right. I can't wait to do the spoiler, bro.
Right. I will say that's one thing I kind of disliked about the MCU Spider-Man movies, the over-reliance on Marvel. Basing it in the MCU, you know what I'm saying?
But I think it had to be. Because what do you do without it, right? Because why not just continue Andrews? I know he said some shit, but why not just continue Andrew?
Sticks and stones, like, fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
there were plans to actually bring him into the MCU, which I feel like he would have fit perfectly, honestly.
Yeah. But they, I like Tom.
Yeah.
Tom did a great job.
Just Andrew
he's the best of both worlds, Peter and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, as far as characters go,
we gotta talk about Green Goblin.
We can't though because in the trailer they didn't.
Green Goblin does Green Goblin things.
Right. That's about it. Green Goblin's a fantastic character. Let us know what you think about Green Goblin. That's why I'm only really talking about Doc Ock because they showed Doc Ock. And
they had a lot of screen time in the trailer.
Exactly, in the trailer, and then they showed Jamie Foxx's character a bit. So,
so overall for characters, they did an exceptional job. I feel like
I love Tom as Peter. I love Ned. I fucking love Ned.
You love Ned?
I love Ned for 3 movies now, so that hasn't changed. I am warming up to Zendaya. Still not gonna call her MJ. She's just Zendaya.
I gotta be honest. I didn't necessarily.
I liked her more in this movie than I did the previous 2. She was more like down to earth and human, and not just an opposite machine.
Yeah. I will say I don't want to make this comparison, but CW, the Flash, I was getting heavy Flash and Iris vibes.
Iris. She didn't give Iris because you know why she wasn't Iris vibes. She wasn't on the screen as much as Iris would have been.
Iris would have stopped.
Iris in every screen. They had episodes clearly for Iris, bro. Right. Like half this movie would have been Zendaya.
Right. I know y'all gonna get triggered. I don't mean I'm comparing it to the MCU. It's just I'm comparing it to the CW. It's just certain things.
It seemed like she was a love interest for the fact of a love interest. Is that what you're saying?
No. I won't say that now.
Okay.
She did enough to justify her being there. I feel like the way Gwen Stacy in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I loved her. I feel like she's the perfect one that's been in the live action or whatever. She did her damn thing.
She did.
MJ, on the other hand, with the Tobey movies, I liked her. I just wish they gave her a better role.
They wanted to make her so different. It
was so different in the first movie.
She didn't feel like any of the regular MJs from all the Spider-Man animated or regular movies. She felt so different, and maybe that's just how they casted Zendaya to be.
Yeah, she's definitely become more, like you said, I guess human.
Even the MJ, it's not Mary Jane.
It's Michelle Jones.
Like what, bro? Come on,
and Michelle is a character in the Spider-Man mythos. I do believe.
I never heard that name before.
Spider-Man.
I never heard that name before.
Why? If y'all really want to do MJ, why not just call her Mary Jane? I feel like at that point they're just like doing a little too much to be different. You know what I'm saying? And nothing too crazy, but
all right, we're gonna go on to the next character. I mean, next section because we're rambling. We're gonna go into themes, right? And it's pretty clear from the trailers this theme of the movie was just bringing in villains from the past Spider-Man movies for Tom to fight. I like that theme. I really do. And the thing about Tom's movies, they followed Spider-Man beat for beat, but just changed tiny things that don't make sense to change. Like every Spider-Man ever, besides excluding Miles, it's been Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
And there was an Aunt May, but it was never an Aunt May with no Uncle Ben.
They never even said his name one time.
Not through these 3 movies. Uncle Ben has just not been any part of this.
That's like if they made a Batman movie and he don't say shit or get no nightmares about his parents.
Like, and then also they're tweaking of, you know, Mary Jane and the way she acts and who she really is. And Ned never existed, but I love Ned.
Ned is he's Miles' best friend. That was him in Into the Spider-Verse, his roommate.
Okay, well then there we go.
But why not do Harry?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's weird. Was that Flash?
Yeah, bro. I was about to say that. The motherfucker, he be cyberbullying him, bro. Like,
right.
My man, Toby Andrew getting their ass whooped. Well,
I guess that's the world we live in now, right?
Yeah.
That's how bullies handle their business nowadays?
Yeah, bully you on TikTok and shit.
Right. They don't put their hands on you. They just make you go viral. I don't know.
Right.
So, you know, the theme of it was, you know, the Wayback Machine. They literally set this movie up to hit you on nostalgia. And it worked. It worked really well. So I don't have anything bad to say about that.
For me, I think I wanted to dig a little deeper because, like I said before, the first 2 MCU Spider-Man movies I wasn't a big fan of, but I definitely got themes of like sacrifice and redemption and no pun intended, but responsibility.
So though this was a collaborative film of sorts, right?
Yeah.
This is them just teeing it up for the multiverse, right? It's got to be more coming.
I mean, and the Loki itself was just a whole multiversal type thing.
But I'm saying, you know, Sony Pictures in general, because though it's part of the MCU, we got to remember it's Sony, and Sony is leaning so heavily on Venom and Carnage and Morbius. So you would think they got to have a hand in this at some point,
and
right?
Vulture was in the Morbius trailer.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, what's Spider-Man without Venom? They gotten away with 3 movies without even talking about Venom. And Venom's the Joker, you know, like Batman the Joker, Spider-Man to Venom. It's kind of a big thing. So that's one of his major villains. So if you know, they do a 4th movie, and I say if because Spider-Man don't hit 4. Apparently
it got confirmed.
Okay.
By Mr. Feige himself.
Okay, fair enough. Then it has to be Venom next, right? But we never seen Tom. Doc Ock has existed in like every Spider-Man verse.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Tom's Doc Ock.
Yeah, we're gonna talk more about the possibility of a Spider-Man 4 a little bit later.
Yeah.
But you got anything else to talk about with the themes and all that?
No, because it's gonna lean right into the fan service that is the theme of the Wayback. Right? That's all of this. This whole movie was a love letter to Spider-Man fans. Like, if you love Spider-Man and you watched all of the movies, then this was for you. Yeah. If you have not seen any of those movies, I do not recommend you see this movie, though. Because you're not going to get that same feeling. You're going to be a lot confused. I don't think you're going to enjoy it as much if you haven't seen those movies.
The callbacks and the references, the actors saying the same lines.
Yeah, like they literally pulled them boys right out their movie and was like, all right, you know, say it like you did 13 years ago.
And they did. They understood the assignment, as
exactly.
the kids say.
So, you know, if you haven't seen those, I recommend before you go see them. I know it's a lot to ask you to go watch 5 movies. I know that, right?
Right.
But if you want to enjoy this, if you are a Spider-Man fan, you probably have already seen them. But if you want to really go see this movie and really enjoy it for what it is, you can enjoy it without having seen those, but you'll enjoy it a lot more if you have. Because the references are just spot on. It's just, it's so good.
Yeah, like...
this is fan service, the movie.
Now, let me ask you a controversial...
Go ahead.
Who did the fan service better, this or Endgame? I feel like this. This was...
Yeah, I'm more of a Spider-Man fan than I am a general Marvel fan. So.
Right. While that was like 11 years in the making, this is spanning almost, what, 20 years at this point?
Yeah.
just picking villains and stuff like that from movies we thought were long gone, especially the Andrew ones, like
especially the Raimi ones. What you mean? They don't even reference them anymore, bro. People shat on
the memes. They reference the
memes. They shat on the third movie so badly that people just don't even acknowledge them, right? As soon as Tom came on the scene, it's like, oh, that's it. Forget all the other Spider-Man shit. It's Tom.
Yeah, because what Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out 2014. 2 years later, he's in what, Civil War? Mm-hmm. I was like, damn.
Right.
Y'all move quick, don't y'all?
Yes, they do. Got right off of Andrew, bro. So, as far as, again, this was fan service, the movie, and I want you to watch the other Spider-Man movies so you can really enjoy it. Do you have to enjoy it? No. Right? If you're generally just an MCU fan and you watch all the like Iron Man and the Hulk and blah blah blah, right? The general MCU shit, and you just want to watch the Spider-Man movie, it's good for that too.
Yeah.
Because
Doctor Strange.
I'm a Cumber bitch on record right now.
Bitch.
I'm a Cumber bitch. I enjoy Benedict Cumberbatch and everything he's been in. Doctor Strange, my favorite Marvel movie. And I say that right now. My favorite Marvel movie is Doctor Strange.
Big words.
So I'm looking forward to the sequel very much. And this was just a taste of it through the shit that they were doing. Like, I wanted more Benedict Cumberbatch on screen, but I know he couldn't be there because it's a Spider-Man movie. But when he was on screen, he was the standout.
Yeah.
For the time that he was on the screen, my eyes never left the screen.
Y'all get to see it in the trailer. The sorcery, man.
Bro, when they start flipping and the world starts bending
and the portals my man shot a web through a portal that attached to his foot. It's like, oh my god.
And then he pulled out that magic whip and pulled him, bro.
And
that was a good. That
the
was
Mafubon, whatever you want to call it.
I'm gonna separate you from your body, boy.
Time to have an outer body experience.
So, again, fan service. Literally, was just fan service.
Yeah. So next, we're going to talk about what do we want to see in the future of Spider-Man in the MCU?
Honestly, I think he could step away from the MCU now. Because MCU is rolling into the fourth phase, and I don't think Spider-Man fits into the fourth phase. Like, not at all.
Right.
Like, they're going more into the alien shit.
Alien was on cosmic.
Yeah, you could see it through
wizardry.
Through Endgame, like it started to get real freaky. Like the first Iron Man movies was more grounded, right? And then the Captain America, even the Captain America movies were grounded. And then when they made it to the end, when Thanos started to come, that's when they started to dig into their bag, right?
Yeah.
And not everyone's ready for that. Phase 4, I think, is gonna be the least popular of the Marvel stuff because it's not the Iron Man, it's not the Captain America.
The characters you really know.
Exactly. This where we dig into your X-Men and your Galactus, your Silver Surfer type situations, and this is more Doctor Strange's territory, and I'm hyped for that. But I guess not a lot of people are gonna be. So I wouldn't be surprised if Spider-Man's ripped apart from the general MCU.
Maybe like Avengers movies, or if they ever do make another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, would you see him coming back?
I could see them if Disney and Fox nails down a proper X-Men, then Spider-Man and X-Men always had history.
Yeah.
But I don't think they can't throw him in the first X-Men movie because they have to nail down a Wolverine, right? They have to find people to nail down those casts because Hugh Jackman's not doing it anymore, and they don't want to introduce Spider-Man into a universe where they're gonna have a rotating door on Wolverine.
Right.
Right. So when they find an actor that's gonna give us that Hugh Jackman experience, right? The next Wolverine,
right.
Like they found the next Spider-Man. How can they not pull this shit off yet? What's up?
Yeah.
I didn't honestly. I wasn't even for Hunger Games girl being Mystique.
Well, which movie was that?
That was the First Class.
Oh, not everybody like First Class. They like Days of Future Past though. That was a good movie. It was alright.
It's been a minute.
I liked it.
And then they gotta find a new.
Don't even get me started on Fantastic Four. When was the last time we had did we ever have a say no? I enjoyed the older ones. I enjoyed Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I did too. I can't say that.
I can't say I watched the other one with Michael B. and the
I think I skipped that one.
Yeah.
But Michael B. Props, shout out.
You got your redemption.
Yeah,
your redemption arc.
Exactly. He did.
I guess for me, if Spider-Man were to come back, I kind of want to see him start playing the roots for a Miles, because I wonder if Miles do exist.
Miles not gonna be an MCU.
You don't think so?
Yeah, do you think they let Peter do this, right? this is important, but they're splitting the money with Disney. Sony can market Miles as their own thing, like they're doing now with Venom. Like, it has nothing to do with the
Into the
MCU,
Spider-Verse.
right?
I think that they don't say like a Marvel production. They say just Sony, right?
It's just Sony.
Man.
So they can use Tom to introduce Miles, and then once they introduce Miles gets his own thing.
Yeah, like hey,
that's 3 more movies right there.
Disney. You said you want who would be a good Miles Morales? I think we talked about this before.
The kid from Stranger Things, yeah.
Caleb.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I forgot his last name. Hey, I think I'll be a good Spider-Man. I've been growing my hair out.
Stop trying
Sony.
to. That's what you brought this up for.
I'm gonna upload a picture of me with my face over the Spider-Man body. Sony, come on, man. Like, come on, man. This is me, man. I'm here. But no, like in terms of, I like to see Tom come back. I feel like things are going to change now. This is the end of an era and the start of a new one. I feel like, and if they can do what I think they're about to do, I'll be there for it.
So that's the thing, right? They made 3 movies without giving us a major villain.
What do you mean?
Like, of the major villains?
That's my problem with the MCU villains. Well,
so that's
Spider-Man.
So they can give us. They set it up to give us a whole new trilogy. They can give us a whole new trilogy and give us the traditional Spider-Man villain.
Right, because every villain, well, from the first 2 movies, based upon something Tony Stark did.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that. So, because the other movies, pretty much all the villains were personal ties. Peter knew them, worked with them, were friends with them, and they all turned.
And we didn't have any of that with Tom.
No, it never felt personal. Hey, they did their role. They did that thing.
They did, but they got away with this shit for 3 movies now.
But the ties wasn't there. And honestly, the ties aren't here for this. You know?
No, yeah, because they're not his villains.
Not even one of his villains popped up.
You see it in the trailer, hello, Peter, and he's like,
you're not Peter.
Right. Who the fuck are you?
So yeah, I'm intrigued. This, like I said, I didn't like the first 2, but I enjoyed this for what it could turn into. If
Sony's doing what I hope they're doing, and they're like giving Venom his justice over here, and they're giving Spider-Man his justice over here, for them to come together as their own little Sonyverse, we'll call it, right? Because they're setting up so much shit. Like, why give Venom so much screen time, and why do this Morbius thing? And in the Morbius trailer, there's a Spider-Man poster, bro.
In the back.
So I mean,
and it took place right. It had to take place right after Far From Home because they had like murderer on it or something.
Exactly.
Like that.
So they're introducing these villains into the world. Well, we're not gonna say villains. They're introducing these characters into the world, but they never actually, met. So that's the future. That's what I think personally.
I mean, even back when Andrew was doing his movies, they were trying to do a whole lot of weird spinoffs like Silver Sable and Black Cat.
Well, it's because I think with Andrew, they was gearing him up to be in the MCU.
Yeah, they were trying to do a Sinister Six movie and didn't have him in the MCU.
So before he went and said what he said and got him ass kicked out, I think it would never been a Tom. Because I love Andrew as Spider-Man. He's so fucking cool.
He's a cool dude.
He is a cool dude. Like, I like Andrew. If he hadn't went on this little tirade and said what he said and got kicked out, I don't think we would have had a Tom.
And not to shit on Tom, but I think I'd have been all right with that. Because I love Andrew as Spider-Man. I literally just watched Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 yesterday. I fucking love those movies.
Underrated movies. They just, people don't give them the respect that they got. And I personally think...
Oh, shit.
It's controversial.
I do.
Controversial. I like him more than I like Toby, and I like his first movie more than I like...
the first 2.
Any of the Raimi movies.
Whoa. Wait, what did you say?
I like Andrew's first movie more than all 3 of the Raimi movies.
Wow.
I like him. I like him as Spider-Man. I like Toby as Peter, but I like Andrew as Peter and Spider-Man.
Can you imagine if like Sam Raimi directed Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah, that would have been nuts.
That would have been fucking
That would have been
amazing.
nuts.
Hey, not shit on Mark Webb or whatever.
He was so cool. He did the whole thing. Like, he was not bullied. He was bullied.
Like, yeah.
But he fought back, my boy. Like, and that's
leave him alone, Flash.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh my god.
I like
could
that.
Have been, man.
I like that. But then we would have never had Ned, and Ned's the MVP.
This guy in the chair.
That's my boy. He's the guy in the chair.
That's probably the one thing I didn't like about the Amazing Spider-Man movies. He didn't really have a best friend until he got Harry, came into the second movie. But by the end of that, he's a villain now.
Yeah, right. So real quick,
I didn't get to feel that.
Exactly.
Damn.
If you had Harry in the first movie and let it leak over to the second movie, you'd have had that connection.
Or even mentioned him in the name.
Not even a little bit, bro.
Yeah, I love those movies though.
They're good movies. So
that being said, though, all in all, I did. They did. Oh God, damn it! I can't say nothing.
So listen, final thoughts right here.
Yeah, what you gotta say, man?
I like this movie a lot. I do think it's required you to watch the older movies to really get to enjoy, the references and the characters and stuff like that. Because it's so cool. Like, we're in 2021, right? And when did the first Spider-Man movie come out? Like 2003? 2001. So 20 years later, to see Dr. Octavius, like, he looks the same. He sounds the same.
They did a little de-aging.
I mean, yeah,
just a little bit. But I've seen pictures of now. You look.
It was so cool. Like, that took me back. And I mean, 20 years ago, bro, I was a fucking child. Like, that. I'm a Spider-Man fan through and through, right? I sat in that fucking theater with a Spider-Man hat on my head, bro. I'm here for it.
Right.
So I loved it. I loved it because of that. So if you don't have that experience, I think it's a mid-movie.
Yeah.
I think it's just okay. Like, it's not the best. Everyone's going nuts and like, yo, this is the best Spider-Man movie ever. And I think it's because they've seen all of those movies. Right. So it's hitting them in the nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have that nostalgia, you're like, what am I watching?
Yeah. I don't know if I had the nostalgia because I recently just went back and watched them all to prepare for this, But it still hit me the same. It's like, wow, these really are these characters.
You literally just experienced the line for line.
I legit said one of the, what is it? I'm something of a scientist myself. Like Green Goblin or Norman Osborn said that in the movie, and I literally said it because I knew he was gonna say it. Oh my God,
that's another one.
What do you mean?
They didn't show Osborn in the trailer. It was just Green Goblin.
But
you didn't know it was Osborn. It could have been Harry.
No, his costume. We saw that's Norman's costume though.
Okay.
Yeah, come on now.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure we know we.
Come on, that penis cone head shape helmet he got on. But literally, I said, I recently just watched them, and for them to still hit me in the feels like I'm a fucking child watching those movies again was it was incredible. I'm surprised they pulled that off.
They did a fantastic job on this movie. I'm not gonna say it wasn't for me because I wanted to see more original shit,
or just not have everything get spoiled.
Yeah,
if they did it a different way.
But this whole movie was just, honestly, though it was great, it was copy and paste the movie.
Yeah.
Like they were gearing it up to hit Spider-Man fans. Like, there was no mistaking. This was not for everybody else. This was for Spider-Man fans. And that's okay sometimes to do that. But when you go in and you're watching this movie and everything feels so predictable, because that's what it felt like.
Yeah. Like,
you knew what was about to happen, bro. Come on, you bring in these 4 villains into this movie. You know who about to do what.
You think this shit about to be a happy ending?
Like, you think what? Because in the first half an hour, bro, this movie would have been half an hour long if it went the way that they was gearing it up for. No, they're fucking 4 villains. You're pulling 4 villains, bro. They gonna do villainy shit. Like,
yeah.
And because Peter is naive, and that's what Peter is. He wants to see the best in everybody. Now we have a movie, and I like it. I want to see. I still haven't seen this Peter's main villain. Like, Toby had his Green Goblin, right, and then Andrew had
Lizard,
Jamie Foxx. Who does Tom have? I'm not with Vulture. Whatever his name is?
No, because them villains derived from Tony Stark.
I know, but that's his. Unfortunately, in 3 movies, that's his standout villain.
If you could choose one villain to come for the next movie, who would you choose? Whether we've seen him yet or not.
Well, I think if they just did, they already own Venom, so they do Venom properly. I think that could be a standout because I don't think Raimi's Venom was good.
Nolan does.
Right.
Not even.
I don't think Andrew had Venom.
Not even Raimi does.
Right. So if we get a proper, I don't give a fuck about Flash Thompson. I don't give a fuck about Eddie Brock. I don't want Venom. I want Venom.
I think with the Flash Thompson we have now, no.
No, boy, no. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Wait, did I say Eddie or Flash? I said Flash, right?
It doesn't
well,
matter.
I mean Flash. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way that Flash. Not fanboy Flash, bro. Like, come on, bro. Never. Like, why is this man a fanboy? Never.
You know what's funny? Somebody was like, it would have been funny if the opening scene was him getting a tattoo of Spider-Man as he was getting revealed.
It's funny how, in the second movie, this isn't a spoiler, how he was like, I hate you, Peter. I love Spider-Man. Pretty much. Like,
I love Spider-Man. What's up, dickwad?
yeah, like I like that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, and
I like that he's a fanboy, but it's kind of weird. He's not Venom material.
no, not even
So-
close. Yeah.
That's the thing.
Right.
I don't know how they would introduce Tom Hardy as a Venom because he's not like a villain.
Right. Yeah, I would say if the new movies just have a not a darker but a more mature tone, like the first two movies were very like, when
Yeah,
we come,
they're all whimsical though. It's all three of them. It's like watching Aladdin, bro. Like,
I will say the comedy was better paced throughout this one, and
Yeah.
it didn't feel forced, like them other Jones.
Yeah.
Peter Tingle, I swear, it still hurts me.
if you've seen the other Spider-Man movies, I think it's a great time for you to go ahead and go in there, watch this, enjoy it, experience it. If you hadn't, try to watch the other movies. At least watch the Raimi movies if you don't want to
Yeah,
watch the Andrew
majority of the
movies.
villains came from that.
Yeah.
and people regard those as
The better
classics.
Spider-Man movies. They call it the trilogy of sorts. But
Yeah.
so if you want to have enjoy it a little more, I think you should go watch those three movies. At least the first two.
Yeah.
Because you really only need Doc Ock.
Green Goblin's there.
Green Goblin,
Yeah.
but I like Doc Ock.
I know.
I like it a lot. So
Spider-Man 2 is my favorite Spider-Man movie.
if you had to rate it 1 out of 10, what would you give it? Fresh out the movie.
Now, my rating is on
You rating it on you.
as a Spider-Man movie.
No, nigga, don't do that.
Or
Don't
as a
break it- don't
movie
categorize.
itself.
As a movie
As
itself.
a movie itself, I think I give it an 8.5. 8.5.
I don't do points. I'm giving it a solid 8.
Yeah.
I think it was a solid 8.
Yeah. It's better than the first two. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I think it's one of the better Marvel movies. If you don't do the Avenger things, you can't really compare Avenger
yeah.
movies because they're just all out warfare. So, just as standalone Marvel movies, you're talking Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America
yeah.
situation. I think it's one of the better one of those movies.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm not gonna lie, to you, my favorite part of the movie is when Doctor Strange is on screen, and that's I think that takes away from the Spider-Man experience.
Just like when Iron Man will pop up in like Homecoming.
Exactly.
Took away
from the Spider-Man experience, and that's just because Spider-Man he doesn't have an original anything.
He hasn't been.
They rely so heavily on the MCU. He
Exactly,
doesn't.
that's what I'm saying,
He
yeah.
he can't sprout his own wings and be his own thing yet.
He didn't. Every time you use Tony Stark's equipment on it to make a suit, the AI inside the suit.
They haven't gone a whole movie without mentioning Stark technology.
And unfortunately, you can see it in the trailer. He has something that looks like an arc reactor, Electro.
Bro, he had the little like Doc Octopus spider things on his back.
Oh, come on, that's the spider legs. You know, like
But no other Spider-Man has that. That's Stark technology, bro.
nobody else had the Iron Spider suit though.
Fair enough.
Gotcha,
Fair
man.
enough.
I was right with you.
All Stark technology. And Peter's smart himself. When is he gonna start doing his own shit?
I really hope that's the direction they go, since it's the end of basically it's the end of an era. For,
It's the end of that MCU trilogy. I think this
yeah.
next couple movies.
Can they not
or
name
if
it
he
like Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home? Can they not do that again? That was just weird.
Spider-Man 4 Home Alone.
Spider-Man homeless. Yeah, man. All in all, it was a good movie, man. I really did enjoy it. I'm eager. I think we're both eager to see what the future has for Spider-Man and MCU, and just in general.
Not in the MCU. Rip it apart.
Yeah, just in general, Let us know if you guys seen the movie, what you guys think. Try to keep it, cordial in the comments.
No spoilers.
Until the spoiler cast come out.
To the spoiler cast, and that's fair game.
So yes, like, comment, subscribe, and all that. We really appreciate it. And as always, welcome to the Struggle House, and we gonna holla at you.
Peace.